Hey everybody, welcome back. It's Valagar Aloevain. Alright, so for this video, we're gonna get into a quest called Dead Girl's Spellbook, and it is located here in Delira's tomb, which is located off of House Jarasco, and that can be accessed either through the marketplace or from an airship there as well. Okay, so this is a quest that I don't normally run. It's a decent amount of experience, uh, as you can see, but they do throw a time limit on there. And generally speaking, I'm not the biggest fan of quests that do have time limits, just because I don't like that restriction there. Okay. But all in all, this quest, it does, like, especially if you're moving at a decent pace, it does give you more than enough time to be able to get through it all. Okay. Alright, so as soon as you enter this big main hall, as you can see, there is some enemies to deal with. They also have, there are on the door there, 4 runes. So let me finish killing. Alright, so there are 4 runes. Now there are 4 side passages to do. Each one has their own rune lever, as well as breakables. Now, I do recommend grabbing the break, if you are going for breakables, to grab these breakables first. As when you pull these levers, it will break them and spawn in some enemies here. So if you haven't already broken them, they would break when you pull the levers. And because it's being broken by a quest mechanic and not like an enemy hitting them or anything like that, you don't get credit for them. Alright, so that's 2 of them. Now we just got the 2 over here. And apparently a Carnage Reaper to deal with. Alright, once they are all defeated, our door here opens up, allowing us to progress further in. Now in this section, it's kind of like a miniature maze, and it does have levers to pull. So the first one that we want to go down is actually this straight path here. And we want to go to our second intersection, and then we want to hang a right. And here will be our first lever. Now when we pull these levers, as you can hear, it does break some of the breakables. It also spawns in enemies as well, so just be aware. I'm just going to poke my head around here. Alright. There they are. Forgot which side they break on. Alright. As well as you can see, the very first set of intersection, we want to make a left as well. So if you're coming back from this lever here, you just want to make a left and then a right. And then you'll get your second lever here. Once again, pulling the lever spawns in enemies. So from this one, you want to just head back to your intersection and continue going straight. It'll bring you across this door here. And you know what? I actually forgot something. Alright. What I forgot is the first path we're supposed to go down is actually the one to the right here. As it also has a lever that we need to pull. Like I said, guys, I do apologize. I don't normally run this one here. Alright. So there's that lever there. That would be that should have been our first lever that we pulled. The order of the levers itself doesn't really matter. However, it's the only one down this right path, which is why I usually choose it to pull first. And then going to that end hall, and then finally this one here. Once all three of those are pulled, then we continue on down this path here. And we just continue around the corner, and there it is. There's our 3 runes, there's our open door. Now for this section here, it has a lot of blade traps in it. Each at little intervals here. And the reason they do that is just in case you don't happen to have a trapper, you can basically roll through them. Though this character doesn't really have a good roll. It gives you kind of small respite between each of the blade traps. Don't try to stop here. Just try to make it through the each set before you stop and heal up there. Alright, next we have this giant room. Now there are a lot of breakables along the bottom, which we are going to grab first. Okay, I shouldn't really say a lot, but there are some breakables that are around the bottom. There we go. Now, from here, what we need to do is we actually need to get to the very back of the room at the top, and there is 2 valves to pull. Each one of these valves are going to spawn in enemies, so again, just be prepared for that extra fight.
You notice the gleaming of a metal wheel near one of the columns toward the center of the room.
So once those are pulled and the enemies are dead, you need to just proceed down the stairs to our open door. Now this part here, what it does, it's kind of is annoying because knowing what it does, you can't like circumvent it. You have to go through it. So as you see, there's an open door at the end of the hall. You have to proceed to the open door, which a gate will slam shut.
In front of you. A trap has been sprung.
You have to go there, and you have to spring that trap. You can't just go down these paths here. Once you spring the trap and you go down the path, it allows you to then take on these side paths, and in them we just gotta kill the guys. That's it. Nothing spectacular, we just gotta go down each path and kill enemies. Oh, it's only that path, sorry. This path just has a shrine. Alright, but once the enemies are dead, as you see, the door has reopened. Alright, so now in here you see a spiral little going down a tunnel and a closed door. In this one, we actually gotta hop into the water and swim through these little doorways. Now, there are 2 rooms in each side, so there's this side and then there's a identical on the east. One is a hidden door, and each of these hidden doors does have an optional. So we can proceed in here, get the optional. As you can see, not really worth a whole bunch of experience, but ultimately, experience is experience. Alright, from here, the rooms that we do need to go in, however, are these ones with all the sarcophagi. And what you can do is when you enter the room, if you break everything first, and then pull the lever, as a general theme. Alright, so when we pull this lever, it's going to spawn in a whole bunch of enemies, as well as erect a small little gate here. Now, if you actually have the jump, you can actually jump over the gate, which I'll show you here. So you can actually just jump over and leave it. They can still make it over, as you can see, but if you can just jump into swimming right away, they're gonna just ignore you, and that'll be the end of it. However, we want to get the kills. Once you do get the kills, or you're not able to jump, like if you're not able to jump over that, once you do kill everything, the gates do drop down for you to proceed a little easier. Alright, so that was the west side. Now to do the same on the east. Again, hidden door. Oh, this one, I thought this one had an optional. Alright, so this one's just a shrine apparently. But again, hidden door, as well as our room with a lever. So we do need to pull both of these levers in order to proceed. Alright. And once again, when you pull the lever, it erects that barricade and spawns in those enemies. Once they're dead, that drops. Once you've done both sides and pulled the lever on both sides, you can then proceed up that little spiral ramp here to the door, which is right here. And if you're not sure which one it is, it's the one with that has the 2 runes on it. Like, I know myself, sometimes I'm not looking at my mini map, or sometimes I get turned around. It's always the one with the runes proceeding forward. Alright, for this one here, we're back into a very large room. At the top of the ramp, there is another door that has some runed levers. In order to access them, we do need to pull a couple more levers. Now, if I am not... before I open my mouth or say this, but if I'm not mistaken, I do believe we only need from the top on this one here. And as you can see, there are a large amount of enemies in here. Alright, so I was mistaken. Well, a little bit anyway. The levers we need to open up this door up here come from those doors up here. However, in order to open the doors up here, we need to pull the levers down there. Alright. Well, we killed everybody first. That's never a bad thing. Alright, so we're going to proceed to the bottom one here. Alright, simple. And again, I do believe when we pull these levers, it's going to spawn in some more traps. Or rather, more ambushes. Alright. Now, these fights are optional. All we need to do in these rooms is to pull the lever. And that'll open up the doors up top there. Once they're both pulled. Alright, so they're both pulled, enemies are dead. Now it's just to proceed up to the ramp here. With our now open doors, we can now proceed on to the east and west again to pull the levers to open up these doors. Now this, in each of these ones, I do remember this, they do have a collapsing floor. Now the way the floor collapses is different, and they do not collapse until you pull the lever here. So this one here, it just has an open pit. If you happen to fall in said pit, and you're not able to like jump around the edge, oh no, even if you're jumping around the edge, they do spawn in. Alright. We'll still hop in, because I think there's a secret door here. Nope, okay. So yeah, once you get across, either by jumping down and killing, climbing up the ladder, or the way I had got across, which is basically hugging the wall and jumping to these little ledges. Once you're across, obviously that's it, you're done. So killing is again not necessarily required. This one again has a, oh no, the floor's already broken in this one. Wow, it's been a long time since I've run these. Alright. Either way, we kill the enemies, proceed in, grab the lever. If you want, you can swim down. As you can see, there is, that's a treasure bag from the enemy. But as you can see, there is nothing actually down here. But the water itself, it doesn't hurt you. So if you fall or just feel like it, you can obviously go for a swim. Now, once we pulled both those levers, our door once again opens up and allows us to proceed to the end chamber. Alright, so there's our big end area. Once we progress to it, it opens up, which I think is really, really cool. And it creates a unique visual arcane spellcaster. You don't actually find one like that anywhere else in the game. And yeah, you just gotta kill him before time is up. Which we still have 10 minutes, it won't take that long. Once he's dead, it opens up our chest. And then inside our chest... Oh no, there we go. In front of the sarcophagus, drops a treasure bag for the dead girl spellbook. We do need to pick this up before time runs out. So if we hadn't picked that up, like we had just killed them, we had a few seconds left and we weren't able to pick up the book in time, it does fail you. So once you pick up the book,
Feel the power
that is
emanating
completion.
from it.
The timer
The
will
darkness
still
makes
go,
your skin
but
crawl.
because you've already
This
completed the
book is
quest,
an implement
it won't
of
fail you out.
evil.
From there, all that's left is to recall out, turn in our quest. Now, unlike a lot of the other quests that we've done up to this point, the turn in to this one is always the same for everybody, and she just hands you a gem. Now, this gem is actually worth a decent amount of money, so you can turn around and sell it. Depending on what your haggle score is exactly what you're going to get for it. Alright, anyway, thank you guys for joining me on this adventure. It's been a long time since I run this quest, so it was a pleasant experience for myself as well. Alright, thank you all for watching. Have a good one all.